Hello my little storm clouds and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. We have a little bit of a different video for you today because I'm doing an Ask Me Anything, and I did put this as a community post a couple of weeks ago and I finally getting around to filming it now. And I decided to do this when I hit 50,000 subscribers, and I might do one of these again maybe if I ever hit 100,000. You guys were pretty tame, which was nice because I was scared in case anybody asked anything strange, but you were quite nice. I also asked over on Instagram, so if you don't follow me on Instagram and you want to see my face a little bit more or stuff to do with my setup, I do a lot of that stuff on there. But yeah, I'll do the Insta ones first because I've only got a couple. So the first question is from Latte and Game, and they said, are you the happiest doing what you are doing now? 100% yes. I will get a little bit more into this because there's a couple of other questions about like jobs and previous things, but yes, I love doing what I'm doing now. I started a channel a long time ago doing beauty, fashion and special effects makeup as well, because I used to do that a lot, and I always wanted to be a content creator. That might seem weird, even though I don't make as much money doing this as I did in a previous job. I don't care because I love this so much, and it is like my dream job. I don't care. Like, it is a dream come true doing this and being able to make money doing it. But next question, I'm going to pronounce people's names wrong. I am so sorry. The next question is from Anita_Van_Vilen. And they said, how do you come up with the ideas for the things you build? So this varies depending on what I'm building. Sometimes I have a clear goal, like when I made Tamlin's Manor from Acotar. That is based off the description in the book. Sometimes I will just look on Pinterest, or because I'm on Pinterest a lot, things will pop up and I go, I want to build something like that, and I take inspiration from them. I try not copy it exactly, and then when it comes to the tutorial side of things, I'm trying to create things that aren't in the game a lot of the times, or make something functional that's not normally functional, and that is because these things have been asked from Simmers to be put in The Sims for so long, and I'm like, I'm going to try do that, or it was in a previous game, so I'm like, I'm going to try build that and try make it functional in some way, even if it's not exactly, it'll still like give your sim something out of it. So I'm going to be turning this way to read now because my Instagram ones, I did write them down because I film on my phone. So I'm going to look over to my screen and read the ones that are from YouTube. I've got two questions from Julmal1352, and they said, what is your favourite colour? My favourite colour is blue. I love blue. It's like that pastel baby blue I absolutely adore. Sort of like the blue that is on here. I love it so much. It's so pretty. And what is your favourite animal? There's a toss up between the two. I have like a cool animal and then something that's not as cool. But yeah, wolf is one of my favourite animals. I just think they look so cool, and obviously dogs are just amazing and they come from wolves, so yeah, wolves are cool. But I also have a soft spot for rabbits. I did have a rabbit. He sadly passed away a couple of years ago, and he was my everything. He got me through the hardest time in my life, which sounds daft because he's a rabbit, but he was a house rabbit that was allowed to just hop around my full house whenever he wanted. Other than on night time, I'd pop him in his cage. He had a litter box and he used that, and he would just hop around, jump up on the bed, do what he wants and just chill out. I loved him so much. If I can find a picture, I will pop it up. I might not be able to because it'll be on my old phone, and it depends if I can get that to charge. And then I think there's a few questions from this person, so I'm going to try find them all. And they said, sorry if I'm spamming. Honestly, don't worry. I don't mind. It's an Ask Me Anything. You could ask as much as you like. And I don't know how, is it Vlogs W Clo X? I don't know if that's how it's said. I feel like it's like vlogs with Clo and then a kiss. That could be totally wrong. I'm so sorry if it is. The first question they said is, did you play The Sims as a kid? I did. I don't know if you care, but I have like a vivid memory of the first time buying The Sims. And if you're from the UK, you might remember Woolworths. And I know there's Woolworths in Australia. It's different. It's not the same brand, but we don't have Woolworths anymore. And I remember going in there and there was like one of them like clearance bins, and it had loads of games in, and it had The Sims in there with loads of the expansion packs. And I remember I was with my dad and I'd seen people play this and I'd seen it advertised, and I was like, I really want to play this. And they were all on clearance for super cheap. I don't know exactly how much, but I feel like they were like £2 or £3 each. So I begged my dad to get me the base game and a few of the expansion packs. I vividly remember making magic so much and having to put the disc in, the base game disc in, then the expansion disc, then back to the base game to like install it, and it was just wild the way you had to do things back then. Long story short, yes, I did play The Sims as a kid. I also asked, what is your goal for the future? So it's just to carry on doing what I am doing now. I don't know if that will expand anymore. It might change in the in the future. But yeah, I want to carry on doing what I'm doing now, make better content, work with a few brands. There's some brands I would love to reach out and work with, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm good enough, and I'm really scared to. And I will never accept a sponsorship from just anybody. I get contacted daily from random people, and I'm like, I don't want to work with you. You're not a company that aligns with what I want to do. What are the best Sims 4's packs in your opinion? So somebody else also said congrats, and what are your favourite packs from each category? So I'll answer them ones together, and that one was from Wenif Weinrich 2612. So from each category, so kits, pastel pop kit 100%, stuff pack, home chef hustle, game pack, dream home decorator, and expansion pack, high school years. So Sue Dan 3434 just said Hull ? I wonder if she knows my accent. I am originally from Hull. I was brought up in Hull for many years, but I haven't lived there for a very long time. I live in Newcastle now. My family are still all in Hull, so I do go back down to Hull sometimes. And I also always get the question of what's your accent, and I don't know if it's because I've lived in Newcastle so long, so I get like slight hints of the Geordie accent, but I still have my Yorkshire accent from Hull. The next question is from Ashley on CapCut. How did you grow so much on YouTube, and what inspired you to do YouTube? So I grew on YouTube mainly from shorts, and I don't know how I grew. I just posted consistently. I've gone to posting daily, other than I did miss yesterday, and I missed a video last week. Because loads of things have been going on at home, but that was still 6 videos last week and 6 this week. So yeah, it's just being consistent, and quality is also a good thing, but I think when you're first building, quantity is a big thing, because the more videos you have out there, the more likely you're going to be seen. So I've got a couple of viral videos. My most watched video has 2 million views, and that alone has brought in about 5,000 subscribers. And I get people unsubscribing every single day, but I'm quite lucky. Sometimes I'll see it drop down, but then I'll like look an hour later and I've gone past that again. It's just what happens. You're going to get unsubscribers, which is fine. I'd rather people be here for me and not just from one video they've seen. And what inspired you to do YouTube? So I don't know. I always watched YouTube when I was a kid. I watched like Zoella and all that, but I remember the first person that I ever watched and really admired, and it's why I went to uni and did audio visual production, is a person called Venetian Princess. I don't know if she's still on the platform, I doubt it. She did parody music videos with loads of special effects, and I absolutely loved it, and that's why I also went in to do a degree in that, because I really enjoyed doing video editing. Gymnast Kristen 5824 said, what do you like to do hobby-wise other than video games? So the main thing I do is play video games. Even when I'm not playing Sims, I'm playing something else. I'm currently playing Enshrouded and Palworld. I'm not filming Enshrouded. My boyfriend streams it, so I just play with him on there. But Palworld, I've done a couple of videos, but I haven't played much recently because I've been so busy. But other hobbies, I love to read. I wish I got more time to read, but I do love to read. I love sometimes doing some art. I love doing like graphics design, and I love doing my nails. This is something I've been doing the past couple of years, is learning how to do my nails. I do Gel X, if you are wondering. They're not going to be in focus because I've got manual focus on, so the focus will be my face. But I've gone for these like fantasy style nails because I'm really into fantasy right now. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I'm really interested in. I work a lot. I do a lot of work. But yeah, I do graphics design, drawing on my computer. So Vlogs with Chloe also said, what inspired you to start YouTube? I've already explained that. And they also said, you're amazing, which thank you so much. Nathaniel, I knew would love watching you, and I look forward to a new video. That like means so much. Like, it makes me so happy. Like, I want to well up and cry. The next question is, don't want to give it 1860 said, what did you do before starting YouTube full time? So this is going to be a little bit all over the place. I'm going to explain the full situation sort of. So just before COVID, I got made redundant from just a retail job, but I was still a student at the time, and I was in my final year of being a student. So I said to myself, I'm not going to get a job because I want to focus on being a student and getting the best grade I can in my final year. So I did that, and then COVID hit, which meant it was really, really difficult to get a job. I applied for so many jobs. I was applying for anything at all. Like I said, I just did retail before that because it's just an easy job to do while being a student. Depending on where you work, they're quite flexible with your schedule with university. Once I finished my degree, I got another retail job because again it was still during COVID times. We still had to wear masks, we still had the visors up in front of the checkout, and I hated it and I quit there because I did not like the place. I didn't like my manager. I'm not going to say where I worked, but I didn't like my manager. But the girls I worked with were lovely, absolutely loved them. So I was really sad to leave. And then I started doing YouTube, but I needed something to carry the way. So I got another job in retail just because it literally is the only thing that I could find. I couldn't get anything that went along with my degree unless I was going to move to London. And I did not want to move to London. I love living up north. Worked in retail and then I quit that in October and I now do this. So Hellyverse said, who or / what was your inspiration? So again, I've sort of briefly gone over this. I've just always wanted to do YouTube, watching Venetian Princess, and then I watch people like Zoella and Alfie. I don't really watch any of them anymore. I loved Glam and Gore, who did special effects makeup. But yeah, it's just people on YouTube were my inspiration, a lot of them, especially in the early years. So Lena Zivkovic, XG50F. Hopefully I not pronounced your name right. If I didn't, I am sorry. And they said, I love you. Thank you. And I'm glad you've gotten this far. Again, thank you. My question is, how hard is it for you to come up with video ideas to make them and edit them? Do you do it before you release the video or in the moment you think of it? So I'm a bit all over the place with my ideas. I have this book, I write everything in this book. I go through notepads like no tomorrow. Half the time I don't ever go back and read them, but because I've wrote them down, they stick with me a bit more. So sometimes I'll come up with an idea and it will be written in this book for months and months and months, and then I will do it. Sometimes I will just come up with an idea in my head and I'm like, I've got to try that. So it really, really depends. So to make them and edit them, so it depends on the video. When I'm doing a short, so easy to make, so easy to edit. When it comes to making my tutorials, the longest part is me testing. So I have sat for hours and hours, days, trying to make something work because I've got this idea in my head and I've got to try and make it work. And sometimes I just can't get it to work and I leave it and I come back in a couple months time and I try again and I get it. So some of my ideas have been in my head for months. So yeah, it's the preparation and the idea beforehand is the hardest part. Making them for me is super simple. Once I've got something down and how I like it done, I try simplify it to make it as easy as possible for people. It's not always that easy though. Sometimes I've got to be like, right, this is more advanced. People are going to ask questions, but I'm going to do my best. So editing them, super easy when it's a short. I've got maybe 5-10 minutes of footage max. And a lot of it is me looking through the catalogue, so I just cut all that out. It's super, super easy. And I always have a base. So when you see I have the intro with the writing at the top and then I have this wave coming down, that is something I created and I just have a base. So I just bring the footage in onto that file and my music is already there. So yeah, super easy. When I'm doing a longer video that is a speed build, again, super easy. I can just speed that up. It's so easy. Highlight it all. Speed it up depending on how long the video is. Sometimes I'll speed it up by 300, sometimes I speed it up by 600 because I don't want the video to be longer than 20 minutes. And then I just voice over it. The tutorials that are long form are my hardest to do because I am talking to the mic directly as I'm doing the tutorial and I mess up a lot. So I have to cut loads out, and sometimes I hate it when you can hear me breathing, and I don't know if that's just a me problem. I don't like hearing people breathe, but you need to breathe. So sometimes I will sit and cut all of my breaths out. Yeah, it's a bit more annoying doing that, but with the sort of videos I do, it's not super hard. So Gymnast Kristen 5824 said, do you have another job on the side of this, and how did you afford your setup? So technically I do have another job on the side of this. Again, it's working for myself, so I love it. I have an Etsy store. I'm never going to promote it on here, or I'm not going to now, because currently I have to put my address on the return address, and I don't feel comfortable people knowing my address. I know I'm not the biggest creator in the world or anything, but there is some weird people out there and I don't want people knowing my address. And then they also said, how did you afford your setup? So my setup didn't just happen overnight. This has taken years to build. This has basically taken the entire time of COVID and afterwards to build up until now. So at the start of COVID, Because I was an editor for the group that I was in university, my old PC could not handle the amount of editing that I had to do, so I was like, I need to buy a better PC. So for my PC sake, because that is like the most expensive part of my setup, I used part of my student loan, and because it was at the start of COVID and I didn't have money coming in from a job since I'd been made redundant, I might have even used some of my redundancy money. I did ask my mum and my dad to help me out a little bit, so they just put a little bit towards buying my PC so I could still do my university work, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without it and I would have failed university. So they massively helped me with that. I've upgraded a little bit since and bought a few bits. So then a few other bits like my desk. My desk is from IKEA, but my old desk my mum bought me for my birthday, and I got quite lucky in a way. It's quite a funny story. So she bought me the desk. It was about £200. I didn't want her to pay that much. I was like, oh, I need a desk. Would you be able to put towards it? I've got some money put away. And she bought it for me. Like my mum's absolutely lovely. So she bought that desk, and it came, and this was during COVID. And two of the drawers on it were broken. One was like snapped just a little bit at the bottom, and one the drawer wouldn't go in at all. So I contacted the company saying, oh, like, would you be able to send out a new part? And they were like, yep, well, it'll be a little bit delayed because of COVID. So I waited a month. Nothing. Emailed them again. They're like, oh yeah, it'll be here by this day, which was about 2 or 3 weeks later. Nothing. Emailed again. It took them a year, and me threatening them saying, like, if you say the words, it's not suitable for purpose, because it was supposed to have 4 drawers and I only had 2, so it was not what it was described as. And they got really scared and was like, oh well, we'll send you a full refund and you can keep the desk and sell it and do it whatever you want with it. So I took the full refund and I fixed the drawers myself, and I sold it for cheaper than I bought it for because it was damaged. So I got a full refund, and then I sold the desk. So I got enough money to be able to afford my desk that I have now. So I purchased that, and all my desk is 2 Alex drawers and a kitchen worktop. And by the time I got this desk, I did have a job, so there was other little bits and stuff I was getting, like my light strips and stuff like my mic. My mic is super expensive. It was also a limited edition because it is the white Shure one. My dad got this for me for my birthday and Christmas combined, and then that was like a few years ago. And then Christmas just gone, he bought me the arm, which is an Elgato arm. And again, I'm glad I waited because I really wanted a white arm that was low profile, because I don't like the one that was coming over my desk before. And then Elgato came out with a white one, which is perfect because I didn't want to get a black one because it didn't match my setup. So when it comes to my birthday and Christmas, I normally go, right, what do I need for my setup? What do I need to improve my videos and do well at my job? And it's normally something setup related, so I normally ask for stuff for my birthday and Christmas. I wanted to get a new graphics card for my birthday, but sadly I had some issues with my teeth, so my dad paid for my teeth instead of my graphics card because that was much more important to me. So the graphics card can wait, the one that I've got now is fine. I can't afford to upgrade loads. Long story short is that I afforded my setup over time. Things do take time. Don't ever just see somebody's setup and think, oh, they've got it in a day. Some people might because they've got a really good job, but not everyone's in that situation. Mine has taken me years to get here, and it's still not at the point where I want to have it. So I will be getting more eventually when I've got the spare money. Currently I don't. Like I said, I don't make as much money in this job as I did in my last, but I still prefer it, and I would rather just make do with what I've got. And the last question here is, any tips for dealing with negative feedback without it impacting mental health? So I love this question. So I was bullied as a kid, more when I was in secondary school. I don't know why I was bullied. I was quiet. I was a little bit of a teacher's pet, not massively. And I ended up hanging around with the boys all the time, playing football. I was a little bit of a tomboy back then. And the main reason I hung out with them is because I didn't feel accepted by a lot of the girls. I had my one best friend, still love her to pieces. We don't really talk much anymore. We talk on the odd occasion. But when we do, it's like we've never been apart, and I love her to pieces. But yeah, I was bullied by the popular girls. That sort of made me grow up already being bullied. So then when you get some hate online, it's like, well, I've heard worse. And also now I am so sarcastic and petty. If somebody leaves a mean comment, I love commenting back, just being sarcastic or really petty. I just find it funny. The comments really don't get me anymore. They did when I first started. For example, somebody on a TikTok video the other day said something about like they hate the sound of my voice or something along those lines, and I just put good. I'm like, well, you've watched the video and heard my voice. I'm glad it annoys you because you were lovely enough to leave a comment, and I just find it funny. I also had somebody saying, oh, you think you're a genius because you've come up with this. I can't remember what I said back, but it was really sarcastic, and then they commented back saying, you think you're Kanye West or something, and I just put one icon. I think I'm really funny, but I'm really not. You can't let what people say online affect you. A lot of the time it is out of jealousy. Not all the time, but a lot of the time I would say it's out of jealousy. So yeah, if you're creating content online, do not let anybody that says anything negative to you, like, try not to take it to heart. It is very, very difficult, and you sort of get used to it in a way. And also, I'm just really bad at reading comments. So sorry if you've said something nice and I have not replied. I get quite a lot of comments, and I don't know how people keep up with them. I also have social anxiety, so there's days where I just can't comment. I like go to and I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, what about if I say something wrong? And then there's another day I'll wake up and I'll be feeling fine, and I will reply to loads of comments, and some of them might be like 4 or 5 weeks old and I'm finally replying. So if I don't ever reply, I am super sorry, especially if you said something really nice. Thank you if you have ever said anything nice. I think I've got all of the questions on there. If I've missed one of your questions, I am so sorry. I will, like I said, I will do another one of these if you would like it in the future. And maybe wait a while, like I said, maybe wait till I hit 100k. If I ever do, fingers crossed I do, I would love to hit 100k. I would really, really want a silver plaque. That would be like amazing. That would be a dream. But that is pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!